Hello, everyone. My name is Mackenzie, and my partners are Elise and Gwen. And today we will be talking about some key features of the Hawaii Early Learning Profile, second edition, otherwise known as HELP-2. There are 685 developmental skills that are addressed and split up between the 6 domains in the HELP-2 assessment. The 6 domains are cognition, social emotional development, language, gross motor, fine motor, and self-help. Although self-regulation is not considered one of the focus domains, it is an area on the assessment that is observed and scored. The HELP-2 was derived from the HELP, which assesses children ranging from ages 0 to 3, while the HELP-2 assesses children ranging from ages 3 to 6. This assessment provides guidelines for understanding and interpreting the child's skills and behaviors appearing in the context of their caregiving relationships and environments, and recognizes families as a central part to the assessment process. The HELP-2 identifies a child's areas of strengths as well as their weaknesses, and it helps track a child's growth and development and helps establish what the next steps in the child's plan would be. The major purpose of the HELP-2 as a curriculum assessment is to identify curriculum outcomes, goals, strategies, and activities. Before the assessment, the professional should conduct a family-centered interview to get a better understanding of the child, their strengths and weaknesses, as well as current and past medical records. It is important for the professional to explain the purpose of the assessment to the parents or caregiver and what they should expect to see during the assessment process. The professional should discuss the strengths, needs, and any special equipment that the child may need to use or have during the assessment. This assessment can occur in a variety of settings, but should be presented in the most natural setting for the child.
During the assessment, it can take 45 minutes to an hour to assess the child. Communication with parents is very important before, during, and after the assessment, as well as incorporating the parents into the assessment to make the child feel comfortable and allow them to perform at the best of their abilities. The assessment is broken up into 5 sections in order to increase effectiveness and accuracy. The first section is free play and warm up, which includes having developmentally appropriate play material and having the parent engage with the child to elicit skills the therapist is trying to assess. The second section is structured facilitation, which includes activities based on the specific skills the therapist is interested in assessing. The third skill is movement and motor activities. Here, the therapist observes how the child plays and interacts with equipment that initiates the child's movement and mobility. The fourth section, feeding or snack time, allows the therapist to observe the child's feeding abilities, preferences to foods, behaviors while eating, and ability to help clean up once they are finished. The fifth section is additional activities or closing time that provides time for the child to participate in additional assessment activities that can help fill in any missed gaps. After the assessment is completed, it can be beneficial to have the child help clean up depending on their age and abilities. Once the cleanup is finished, the therapist will need to score the child's skills and communicate with parents about the findings. Help strands were created in order to provide a hierarchical framework for development skills. The skills were analyzed for their underlying concept and sorted into multiple conceptual strands within the 6 major domains and sequentially ordered by age. Drafts of the help strands were developed and field tested for 3 years in order to test the adequacy of initial sequencing of skills within strands based on hierarchical structure. During field tests, if a child failed more than 2 items in a row but passed a higher item, the relevant skill items were reassessed, and this process continued until the strands were considered as sequential and hierarchical in nature as possible.
In the HELP-2 assessment, the child may receive a plus, minus, plus and minus, A plus, A minus, or NA. When a child receives a plus, this indicates that the child is able to perform a certain skill or behavior that is being asked of them. If a child receives a minus, a child is unable to perform a certain skill or behavior that is being asked. If a child receives a plus minus, the skill or behavior is developing or emerging. When a child receives an A, the child is showing an atypical or dysfunctional response to the skill or behavior that is being asked. If a child receives an A+, the child has a hyper responsiveness to the skill, indicates that the item is not available or appropriate to assess due to disability or parental preference. It is also important that any credit is circled when the environment or caregiver interactions comprise the child's development in this area. Circled credits also can indicate requested additional information or help in that area from the family. When using the HELP charts, the therapist should transfer assessment information from the HELP strands to the HELP charts by coloring in the corresponding skill blocks on the chart. By coloring in the blocks, it can provide an image of the child's current strengths and needs. Using different colors allows the therapist to reassess the child and mark more blocks as new skills and behaviors are mastered. Utilizing this information allows the therapist to target the next step skills that match the family's goals or outcomes. Usually skills that are marked as emerging are good next steps. So next we are going to watch an example video. This assessment is typically done on children, but to show how this assessment is administered, there will be only adults in this video. This video includes gross motor and fine motor observation skills.
So Mom, what I'm going to have you do is you're going to come and stand in front of Tommy and you're going to offer your hands out to him so he can grab onto them, and we're going to have him stand up, okay? So what I'm going to do is stand behind him, so if he looks like he's wobbling or he's going to fall, I'll be there to catch him, okay? Let's try it. Let's go ahead and offer your hands out. Ready? Can you stand for me? Good. Oh, good job. All right, Mom, now why don't you try and let go of his hands and we'll see if he can stand on his own.
Next, we're going on to the importance of OT. The HELP can help track a child's growth and development and give OTs an idea of what goals their client should be working on. This helps identify the child's strengths and needs. This also lets the OT know how the child is developing compared to other developmental areas. I hope we were able to inform you and help you learn a few things about the HELP.